Psychic Mist Paranormal Network.
Hi, this is Char with Psychic Mist, and my daughter came up with a really cool idea. She said, "Hey Mom, why don't you try to make communication with your plant?" And I thought, hey, good idea, I think I will. All nature has nature beings, so a plant and trees, they have nature spirits that work with them closely, just like we have guides. So I can talk to the nature spirits and communicate with the plant or a tree or some other kind of growth. It's possible to actually talk to a tree or a plant without the nature spirit because they usually sound like little kids, very young children. And it's very interesting the way that they behave, but they're actually located, their consciousness is actually located in another dimension, and their physical being is here, but their actual consciousness is partly here, but it's alive in a completely different world in a way that we're just not aware of. Let me introduce you to my plant. This plant is the very first plant that I've ever been able to grow, and it flourished very nicely, as you'll be able to see. I'm really excited about it. I love her. My plant. This is a impatiens, and she makes pretty pink flowers, as you can see. And I got her when she was just a tiny little thing, probably just a couple inches sticking out of a ceramic pot. And now look at her, she's pretty big and happy. So here are the EVPs I did for my first session. Is my plant aware of how much I like it or how much I love it? My plant, can you actually hear me? My plant, do you like me? My plant, how long is your lifespan? The following are the ITC pictures that came out. Some of them are pretty interesting. turd? Really? So, what do you think this next one looks like? Yeah, me too. PMP for Psychic Miss Paranormal, maybe? I always go back and try to make contact with some of the beings that come out from the ITC session, which is what I did with this. And I did get a few interesting EVPs, so I'm going to play them for you now. Does 100 mean anything to you? If so, what? This looks like a little alien. This is part of an animal in paw. Animal? Are you an old man? Question about the picture I have up here, is that the plant personified as a person? Or is that Leah? Who is Leah? They were pretty cool. And moving on, I have a few more EVPs that I got that didn't necessarily come from any of the entities that I summoned back. So here they are. Are you a female or a male? Can you see things, my plant? Can you actually see? Yeah. Can you hear? Can you hear? Do I need to give you more water? Do you like being here with me? Does my plant have a message for me? More than likely. What do you need to be healthier? What do you need to be healthier? So this is something that you rarely ever see in ITC work. These are two entities that appear in about 25 frames. Not all of them are consecutive, but most of them are. They break up a little bit more toward the end, but you can still follow them and see them as they move and change frame per frame. So enjoy this. Now that's what you call a close and very loving nature spirit couple. And here are 3 pictures of my plant's nature guardians, and they were found in my plant. So for those of you who follow me with the Josh Project, I have a little bonus for you. Josh tends to try to come in and make communication with me as much as possible, and when I was doing my EVPs and ITC for my plant, he decided to make an appearance too. Here's a picture of Josh On the left is the first ITC picture that I received of him in 2018, and on the right is another one that I just recently got in 2020. The EVP you're about to hear is one that made me start to be a little suspicious that Josh might be trying to make communication. Do you know what this creature is? Animal creature, maybe? The next EVP is one that I was certain it was Josh or one of his entourage coming through, because he's always saying to me, "Help me." Is there an illness or parasites that you have? So this next EVP is where I asked Josh about the mass face beings that came through. You could see these two in the pictures here, and one of them proved to be Josh's profile. How about this? Is this a mass face being? It is? What is a mass face? I also had a second visitor come through along with Josh. It's who Josh works for. He calls himself Chris, but Chris is actually a demon. So nature spirits can look very imposing, and this is why I decided to ask if this being was indeed a nature spirit, but at this point I kind of figured it wasn't. Is this a nature spirit, the being looking downwards? Is it a good or evil spirit? Is it demonic? Is this a demonic spirit in this picture? Is this spirit able to speak with me? Who are you? Stay tuned for more on Josh. There's an awful lot going on with him. It's a complicated relationship. I really enjoy doing this experiment. The nature worlds are really quite amazing. And you know what? I learned a lot about my plant. It was a lot of fun. This is Shara with Psychic Miss Paranormal. Have a great night.